In today's episode, I'll be giving my review and reaction to the 2007 movie Eastern Promises. Let's get into Eastern Promises.
Do something, man. People are questioning you. Shut up. Shut up. Okay, yep, do that. Sure, guys. Stupid and dumb. Just an idiot. Get your shit together, son. Fuck it. I loved it. Welcome to the Dub Cast.
Eastern Promises is sort of a weird movie, to be honest. Classified as a gangster movie. Didn't, I don't know. It doesn't really feel like that's accurate because the movie is mostly focusing around this one girl. And, there's obviously other people involved. Naomi Watts is the main character, in my opinion. And I don't know, it doesn't feel like really a gangster movie. This isn't Goodfellas. This isn't. Sorry for my voice, I just woke up like an hour ago. This isn't. I don't know. It didn't feel like a gangster movie. Short runtime, 1 hour 41 minutes. Director David Cronenberg. Don't know him at all. So this is the first David Cronenberg we're reviewing here on the channel, and also if I've ever seen in my life. The main star of this movie is Viggo Mortensen. Carried this movie from beginning to end. He was the only interesting part. No, there's some other interesting stuff that happened in this movie. I didn't like Naomi Watts in this movie just because the character she was portraying I thought came across as dumb, to be frank. And it felt like, I don't know, she was making really idiotic decisions. The other two stars in this movie, Vincent Cassel, Armin Weller Stahl. We know Vincent Cassel from Black Swan, but I hadn't seen anything that Armin Weller Stahl is in. So, yeah, I mean, this one's a weird one to talk about just because there's a lot going on in this very short runtime. I feel like it kind of doesn't have a home because it's going with this story of this girl and also trying to include this like Russian mafia stuff in the movie as well. So that was a little bit odd to try and see that contrast work out. Now I don't think that's the worst like combination in the world. Like I think there were parts of this movie that were effective, but I don't know. There's some weird stuff that happens. So let's just get right into it. So starting off the movie, you always need to talk about the intro. At least I like to talk about the beginning of the movie. Did it draw you in? Did it do a good job of making you interested in this movie? This one was crazy, bro. This Someone walks into a uh, barber shop and gets their throat slit. Damn, like, and it's a boy. I think his name is Ekram. I think he's the one who ends up doing the slicing. Um, and he was acting mad suspicious right off the bat. So like, what's going on here? Boom, the throat's wide open. Like, okay, we're not playing around with this thing. And it was the beginning of this movie was a little bit hard to track, like who's who and what's going on and who's part of the mafia and whatever. And I don't know, it was interesting. We go to the restaurant now, and there's Semyon, which I still don't know where this movie took place, or not. I know where it took place, but like, uh, it's it's weird because this is supposed to be in 2000 in the winter of 2006, but it's like, are we really in 2006? This feels like some things are happening in this movie that are. It feels 1990s, but I guess Russia could be that far behind. I don't know. Anyways, our main character, Naomi Watts, has Anna. That's her name. Anna has the diary from this woman who just passed out or died in her hospital. She's a nurse. Um, and this restaurant, like Semyon, bro, off the bat was giving sus vibes. I should have circled back on that. There are good plot twists in this movie, so shout out to that. But he's a little suspect. He instead of like having us finding someone to translate this diary, he's like, translate the diary with me, darling. Like very old and weird. I don't know. And also, no, she has a Russian uncle. That's the whole point of this. It's like, why don't you just go to your uncle who also lives at your house and ask him to translate it rather than this random guy at a restaurant? But what do I know? It's Anna making decisions. So back at the place, we have the uncle, and this guy's a crazy character. He's racist. He says that, and granted, this is 2006. Remember this: races don't deserve to mix, and that's why the baby died inside of Anna. So traumatic as like bringing up the dead baby. Like we know Anna tried to have a baby, didn't work, seemingly with a man of another race, and the uncle's just bringing this up at dinner. Like, come on, bro. Come on, Unc. You can actually use the word Unc contextually. Yeah, that's it's weird because like I think we're meant to be sympathetic towards the uncle, but then you remember he's like saying this shit. It's like, dude, who cares about this fucking guy? Meanwhile, with the Russian mafia, we learn a little bit more about Nikolai. I like Nikolai a lot. He's a beast. He takes care of the body. The kid who got his, or not the kid, the guy who got his throat slit and puts out a cigarette on his tongue, which like, okay, you're a boss, you're a badass, we get it. Don't know why I would ever need to do that. I've never put out a cigarette on my body like that. Just you know, did have a friend put out a cigarette or put make people put cigarettes out on his um, arm, and it was like, okay, why are you doing this? I don't know, bro. But we're supposed to, I think that's like, oh, he's cool. He's putting out a cigarette on his tongue, and I thought it was pretty cool. Although I'd never do that. It just doesn't make sense to do that. And so yeah, Stepan is the uncle. How about we give him the diary instead of this random Russian guy at the restaurant, right? But no, that's too far fetched. Anyways, he ends up reading the diary and finds out that it was the father who ended up doing, not this like idiot kid that we're led to believe it is. So it was actually Semyon who's the one who committed this rape, which was a big plot twist because Semyon's like this older, like wiser character. We know he might be involved in the mafia, but it's like he's supposed to be like seemingly nice on the surface, but he's got some deep dark shit. And that if it was a good plot twist, but also didn't really make sense because like I don't see this. I still don't understand why he would do that. I guess people are just shitty. I don't know. Felt weird. Anyways, um, one of the more jarring scenes is our guy Ekram from the beginning of the movie. He slit somebody's throat. He's on his way to a soccer game, and this is the weird. This is like this took me aback. He's just on the way to a soccer game, passing the people in the crowd, for blah blah blah, and then he's pissing on a grave. Come on, dude. So for that, he deserves to die. No, I mean I don't know. That was just weird. He's like piss drunk. Kid looks like 18, if that, maybe 16. Um, just trying to go to a soccer game. So that was a little bit jarring to see this man, not man, this kid get killed. But the people from the mountains are badass. Um, I don't know. Anyways, back with the main plot of the story, which is like this whole Akram side plot, like didn't really need it to be honest, but it happened. Nikolai is supposed to be the one to deal with Stepan, and Stepan is the uncle of Anna, as we know, and so he's meant to deal with her. He says he dealt with the uncle, which is scary because it's like we like the uncle, we like Anna, we don't want anything bad to happen to this family, and now that Nikolai completed this task, he's kind of in this driver, like pseudo part of the family. He's really part of the family now. And in order to join the family, he gets to say his mother was a whore and his father was a bitch and then get star tattoos. So there's your gangster, I guess, part of this movie. I mean, I don't know. I don't really, I don't like the initiation part of it. I don't understand why you need to say that. I guess it's like if you're gonna be part of the mafia, this is your new family. Like we all seen Sopranos, whatever. Just thought that was a weird thing that you have to say in order to get in. So we have um, Nikolai now is being sought after to be taken out by the people who are looking for Kirill. They want blood, and these people from the mountains, the mountain men, come down to him in the uh, sauna. And I'm guessing this is the big scene that everyone loves out of this movie when he's just butt naked and takes them out, both the guys out. So pretty cool fight scene there. You know, it's probably one of the scenes I will remember. So you got me there on that one. And we learn after this that Nikolai was actually undercover FSB this whole time. So another big shock with Nikolai. He was undercover, and I do like that aspect of it. I thought that plot twist was pretty good because I like the undercover stuff. Been reading a book series about a girl who is undercover in her work, so that's an interesting concept for me. But yeah, he's a good guy. Which if you've been watching this movie, Nikolai's a good guy because he's just a boss, and he wants Semyon to be arrested for the rape. Obviously, I missed that part of it where Semyon had burned the diary and then asked Nikolai to be like, get rid of this guy. He knows that I raped this poor woman that we killed. And there's a baby still. So, in order to get rid of this baby, Kirill, who's just this like shithead character, I haven't talked about him a lot, but he's kind of like the failed fucko of the mafia family, like basically Christopher Moltisanti, except like just being a dumbass, not doing substances. He takes the baby out of the hospital, and yeah, after there's this whole like side plot scheme to take blood from Semyon to make it obvious that he's the father. So once Kirill connects the dots on that, he takes the baby from the hospital. He goes to this like little alleyway where he's gonna just throw it in the water, I guess. But who's there to save the day? Anna and Nikolai, FSB, and Nikolai does a good job of taking the baby from him. But I don't know, kind of just like a so and so ending of this movie. And y'all know if you've watched any of my movie reviews, I hate this part where now Anna and Nikolai, sorry about that, kiss. Why? Why do we need that? Why do we need a love story in every single movie? We don't. These two people barely know each other. They're gonna kiss because they saved a baby. Like, come on. And then the saddest part of it all, Anna's gonna take on the kid, which like, I get it's a redeeming story arc for her. She gets to take on the baby when, her baby had died before. But Nikolai's just drinking by himself on to the next mission. Like, sad ass ending. They just kissed. We don't. Then they never get to be together. I don't really care about Anna, so it's like Nikolai. I don't know. It's just kind of like stone cold, just continue on with the mission type shit. So overall, I thought there were some decent plot points in this movie. Did keep me somewhat entertained. I wasn't ever really too bored by this movie. I think that's helped by the short runtime. They didn't try to make it anything longer. I thought the character of Semyon was interesting. I thought Nikolai was interesting. I really didn't like Anna. I didn't like the storyline of them kissing. But there were some good plot twist reveals, and I think the ending is like, it's sad, but it's a good ending because we don't always need happy endings. So for them to kind of just move on with their lives, I like that ending a little bit. So I'm in the sevens on this one. I'm landing this one at a 7.2. Decent score. I think if you're a Viggo Mortensen fan, you definitely want to check this one out. Even if you like Naomi Watts, she's a big part of this movie, so check that one out. Russian mafia stuff, if you're into that as well. I wouldn't really recommend this one just off rip to say like you got to go watch this, but it was a decent watch if you are looking for a movie and you're into that sort of stuff. So where does this fall on the Dubcast graphic? This is the 75th movie review so far. At a 7.2, this one is number 56 of those 75 movies reviewed so far. And the only movie we have to really compare it against is Black Swan, which was an 8.5 because Vincent Cassel is in both of those. So this now becomes the second highest Vincent Cassel movie out of two movies. So that's it on Eastern Promises. What do you guys think of Eastern Promises if you watched it? If not, does it sound interesting from what I explained? I don't know. But we're back. Dubcast is back. I've got the notepad right here. We got 7 or 8 movie reviews cooking. We're back. We're coming back, okay? This is it. This is the year. 2026 is our year. No more BS. No more bullshit, all right? And we're going to be active on social media, so make sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, X. I'm not on at the moment, and I don't know if I'll return, but we do have an X if you're interested in that. We got UFC 323 coming up. We got NFL streams weekly. Besides that, expect some more movie reviews coming out. Next one will be Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World. So we'll be getting into that movie review. And that's it for me on this one. And I'll see you in the next one. As always, be easy, y'all.